Motion to reconvene.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Okay, so we've reconvened, and do I have a motion to approve the
Motion
resolution?
to approve resolution 222.
I'll second that.
Great.
I just want to make sure that all council has had the chance to discuss before I take a roll call. I know Jamie wanted to make a couple statements.
I just want to make it clear that the redevelopment plan that was approved for this project allows a hotel and motel use. The maximum is a 102-room hotel. So there is a possibility that a use or a hotel could be decreased. This is the maximum that's allowed. There is not one place in our master plan that states that a 102-room hotel is needed. Actually, on page 1 of the land use plan element, the master plan states, although hotels, motels, and bed and breakfast establishments are plentiful here, many who choose to stay at one of those venues often so only for the short term. This project will substantially increase vehicle and pedestrian traffic, which are concerns listed in the master plan for this small community, especially during the prime summer months when many vacationers are using the unfamiliar roads to drive, walk, or ride bicycles. Introduction, page 2. I'm reading the master plan. This project does not balance business and residential development with environmental protection. Intro, page 4. We need to protect, maintain, and conserve the natural resources of Beach Haven for continued environmental quality and health of all the residents. Intro, page 4. Last weekend's flooding event. There is no magic pumping station that alone will cure the flooding problem. It needs to be a collaborative effort from us, the municipality, homeowners, residents, builders, and developers. We cannot keep overbuilding. Densities need to be reduced. From the Ocean County Master Plan, Chapter 12, Groundwater, Water Resources and Supply, page 169, requires all municipalities to prepare stormwater management plans and specify stormwater management standards for major new developments. This is a major development, yet no stormwater drainage or any sustainable anything has been presented. The New Jersey State Development and Redevelopment Plan, like I stated earlier, we are an environmentally sensitive barrier island planning area. According to the state, in the year 2020, decisions regarding the location, type, and scale of development, redevelopment, and conservation efforts will be made with the understanding that all aspects of life in New Jersey are interconnected and interdependent. No one geographic area or population is immune or untouched by the problems affecting another. Developing and maintaining our communities and our natural resources with due regard for the needs and present and future generations is a new social ethic. Beach Haven is a very special place. This is not Beach Haven. I was at the heart of Beach Haven last night. Barry's Do Me a Flavor hosted an ice cream social. The PTA of Beach Haven, which I'm a part of, Mr. Allen also has a son in the Beach Haven school. And Barry's employees donated their time, and all proceeds from food and ice cream went to the PTA to support our school, Beach Haven School. There are children that live here and play on those streets, my daughter included. There were dozens of children outside from Beach Haven, Township, and students who just had off from school somewhere else. They were playing games and riding bikes. Adults, both residents, visitors, and second homeowners were inside laughing and socializing. My husband was fishing at Morrison's last night. People come here to live and buy because of the unique charm that this town has. And we need to preserve this for ourselves and our future generations. I am very passionate about keeping the integrity and culture of Beach Haven. That's why I'm on council. That's why I chose to be here. Again, developing and maintaining our communities and our natural resources with due regard for the needs of present and future generations is a new social ethic. I understand the need to redevelop the buildings on the boulevard and revitalize the Marine Commercial District, but this project is too big. It's too dense for the lot size and needs to be scaled down. I am asking you, Mr. Vernon, I am pleading with you that you need to scale down this project significantly. This is our bay. This is Little Egg Harbor Bay. It's our bread and butter. It will destroy that bay. Environmentally, the runoff, the lighting, it's gone.
Okay. I would like to respond to what Jamie just said. I am 100% in favor of preserving our bay. And I think we have charter fishermen that have spoken tonight. We have the Marlin Tuna Club. The best conservationists I know are people that really care about fishing and hunting. Ducks Unlimited, for example, is one of the best conservation organizations in this country, and they want to conserve the ducks and the environment so they can hunt. Fishermen want to make sure there's fish in the ocean. We definitely need to have strong regulations monitoring water, moderating runoff, all these sorts of things. My feeling is that this is a redevelopment agreement. This agreement is just the beginning. We still have to have a site plan. This is not a done deal. Okay? Everybody's sitting there asking site plan questions. I understand how you feel. It's very confusing. I would like to be able to hand all of you copies of this redevelopment agreement, but the law says that it doesn't work that way. You have an opportunity, really, to come and talk about this plan when it comes to the site plan. Then you have an opportunity when it comes to the CAFRA issues that deal with runoff and deal with the preservation of the bay. The last thing I think Mr. Vernon wants to do is to destroy the bay so that nobody wants to dock his boats in the slip. Mr. Vernon is depending on the marina as being what is going to really keep his hotel occupied. The only reason I really support this is I want to keep that marina. And that marina does not have to stay. There is nothing that says that we have to have a marina there. The marina to me is very important. But really, if there's no fish in the bay, if there's no fish in the ocean, who is going to keep a boat there unless they're traveling between Maine and Florida? Basically, it's important to all of us to maintain the environmental issues. And I think that's one reason we have the EPA, we have CAFRA, we have organizations, and I do think that by having basically a strong redevelopment agreement that demands that we keep a marina in this spot to support large boats, that is going to help us maintain the bay more than anything else. So I strongly believe that. This is the beginning. This is just the beginning. By having a redevelopment agreement, we have control over this project. My concern is, and I'm not dying to have a hotel at the end of my street. I live on 2nd Street. I'm not really dying for that. But I do think that otherwise we're not going to have that marina. People have said to me, hey, why doesn't the town buy the marina and we can have a public marina? I have tried. I have called Carl Block in the county. I've talked to lots of people. How do we do this? Well, it's very, very difficult. Right now, it's very hard to maintain a marina and make a living without having some other attraction to the marina. If we were able, if we had people that come on up and donate some money, and let's see if we can buy this marina. But then we have to maintain the docks. We have to maintain the bulkheads. We have to dredge the place. It's an expensive proposition. And that's a big concern. If we were to get this marina just for our town and do this, we would be losing money. Your taxes really would go up. I'm not saying that this is going to, the last thing I'm worried about right now is taxes. I think we haven't raised our municipal taxes in 2 years. We're trying to keep things on an even keel. I don't think by having this big hotel, we're gonna have a big decrease in taxes, but I do think we will have some more revenue coming into town. I would like to keep Beach Haven the way it was when I was a kid. That was the best, but it isn't going to stay that way. And at least we would have some control over this if we have a redevelopment agreement. Without a redevelopment agreement, we do not have any control. And that could mean if Mr. Vernon buys this place, and, you know, so he puts his restaurant up and maybe puts some Quonset huts along 2nd Street and Pennsylvania Avenue to store boats in and work on boats, and maybe he does that for a while. And then he says, well, gee, I'm not making any money. Well, one of the ways I can make money is I can now condominiumize these slips. And that's where the money comes, that's how you make money. And, I mean, he's a business, he's got partners, he's gonna make money. With this redevelopment agreement, we know what we're getting. Without it, we don't know what we're getting. That's one of the reasons I support it. I do think we move forward. You'll all have a chance to read this redevelopment agreement. We will have site plan meetings, which could squelch the whole thing. That could squelch it. Mr. Vernon might not be able to present traffic plans and parking that would satisfy the safety criteria that the land use board would require. And so we don't know. This is just the first step. This might never happen. But based on those criteria, that is why I am supporting this plan. Do I have a motion to?
I have a motion.
Oh, we have a
Second
motion.
on the floor.
Do we have a second?
If we're through with debate, I do have a second.
We do,
Motion
that's
debate,
right.
then
I remember that now. Not too emotional here. Do we have a roll call?
Mr. Allen.
Always first.
That's terrible.
Change your name.
This one's so hard to decide on. I mean, there's benefits that Nancy sees, and then there's the other side. I mean, I've had emails from people, I've talked to people that are they're not for this. That they're not for this in the current plan and shape. That I respect their opinions. They're lifelong voters here. I've known since I was a child. And I've been honestly surprised by the opinion. I know what Nancy's saying, that this is just the first step, that this whole thing could just not get past the land use approval. But it's our job as council people to listen to the people that are here. And I've said this also before, the people that come to the meetings are the people that don't like things, people that are happy to stay home and watch TV. So it's kind of a hard metric. You know, I've actually been sitting here as you've all gotten up keeping score of the people that have been in favor versus against. And it's not, you know, the nays have it. Not by as much as I would have thought either. So, you know, I've really been struggling with this. I went down there this afternoon. I sat there for about 40 minutes and looked at the property, looked at all of it, and thought back through the summer to when I was down there with my kids, or just going to Morrison's to the ship store, which, you know, I'm at all the time because they have stuff I don't at my marina. Don't tell anyone. And it's just the traffic down there in the summer just scares me. And it's, you know, it's hard for me to go forward with this, and it's hard for me to say no now, because this doesn't approve or disapprove this redevelopment agreement. It just sets the terms, which are also important. I'm sorry, I'm just doing my train of thought as I'm going. Which are also very important to control, and control is a big deal for this project, because losing this marina is losing one of the beating hearts of Beach Haven. And Chris has agreed to maintain it. The one thing that I did ask was, did he ever agree to, as part of the redevelopment agreement, to limit the transient slips? Did that ever come to you? I talked to Emily about this.
Yes, and so he said that 20% transient slips would be, he would certainly limit it to 20%. there's no incentive to keep more slips open. It's better for him to have the slips full. What he would like is, if the slips are not leased up, and they're available for a transient boat, could he utilize those slips for those transient boats?
Yeah.
And so that was the question that was brought back.
Yeah. And the other thing I'm having trouble with is I talked to somebody this afternoon, and I don't want to put on the spot, who was in favor of this in April, who lives down there, now is not, based on his experiences living in the area. Again, he's a respected member of the community, and it's someone, again, to be listened to, as everybody, should be weighed equally. So as a council person, what do you do? Do you go with the agreement and you take it to site plan, or you just say, can we try something different now? It's a tough call. And I think it's something we all really ought to think through. There's just so many moving parts in this. The Beach Haven Marlin Tuna Clubs got their parking that they never got, which is alright, good for them. That's great. Do they lose that if we say that? I mean, there's so many moving parts on this, so do we take it to site plan or not? Is basically what this goes to. I don't always have to go first. I don't know. I gotta say, I wish it was smaller. I really do. I know the 100 rooms is for a liquor license, and I don't disagree, and that's a kind of something that should be worked out at the state level. I think that's going to hurt many communities actually going forward from a development standpoint. But I don't think I can get behind this.
Mrs. Baumiller.
Again, just pleading with Mr. Vernon, 102 is the maximum. I'm pleading with you to go smaller. You do beautiful work, and my daughter rides her bike down there with her 6 friends, 365 days a year. Would you let your children ride their bikes there? On Dock Road, it's going to be something is going to happen. I'm just pleading with you to relook at this. And because of the safety and the environmental aspect, if I had some type of drainage or stormwater, I could possibly get behind this, but this time I cannot.
Mr. Lynch.
Okay, it's been a long night for everybody. I'll tell you, I learned a lot tonight from the people here. Let me just say a couple of things. I think, first of all, that we are going to get a strong agreement if we get one. I think the DEA and Capra will be very, very strong. We'll keep up with the infrastructure, the drainage, and things like that. So I think that's going to have to be a major project for Frank and also for Mr. Vernon. But I think this is a beginning. It's a strong beginning, and I think we can dictate here. And I think my concern, and I think that Jim Vogel said it very well, is I'd beware of Plan B. Because Plan B could be something that could be devastating and not really what the town wanted. I think this will attract more people. I think Chris Vernon builds a very excellent projects, and I think from all the people I've talked to, I like the idea of the year-round operation. I like the idea of more jobs in town. I really enjoy the fact of the marina and the boat slips being saved, also the ship store. And I was encouraged by the Marlin Club, who gave its vote of confidence tonight to this. This is a tough decision. I mean, this is probably the biggest decision we've made in a long, long time in this town. I learned a long time ago from a friend of mine who said something to me, and I think it's very important. He said, if a town stands still, it will die. and it will never grow again. We have an opportunity now with a strong agreement. I'm going to vote yes for it.
Mr. Maskell?
My vote is yes.
Mayor Davis?
And you all know my vote is yes, but I would also plead with Mr. Vernon if he can figure out a way to decrease some of it. That'd be nice. Great. We now have public comment. If anybody wants to comment on anything different than this? Everybody's leaving? All right, I close the floor to public comment. Are there any final remarks by council? None? Nobody has a final remark? Is there?
I do have a public comment.
How you doing?
Sherry, I just wanted to publicly say how disappointing tonight was. Even though we did get some answers from Chris Vernon as to what he plans to do, we had a lot of questions, and I just feel like most of the people here deserved answers to their questions. And it's a shame that we didn't get them.
Okay, thank you. I'm sure you'll get your questions answered. I thought I closed the floor, but does anybody else want to speak?
Motion to adjourn.
The floor is closed. All right, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Your second?
Second. Third, fourth.
Is that the adjournment? I can't hear anything. Thank you.